Hello, this is Angelo, and I am coming to you with my second video log from my YouTube channel, Rock the Bells, also known as For Whom the Bell Tolls. And today, I'd like to talk to you very briefly about the K1 visa process. I mentioned in my previous video that I'm getting married, and my fiance is from Vietnam, and I have gone through this K1 visa process, or also called the fiancé visa process, under the auspices of the United States Customs and Immigration Service, in order to get her approval to come to the United States so that we can be married. The way that this works is I'm the petitioner. So as part of the K1 visa process, the petitioner submits a request to the United States government, basically saying, hello, United States government, please allow my fiance entry into the United States so that she and I can get married. And in order to ask this question, the United States government requires me to provide a certain amount of information. They want to know, is the relationship real? They want to know my financial background, my marital background, my criminal background, if there is one, and all kinds of other information. The petition fee at the time of this recording was $535, so I submitted that petition fee. And then that petition goes is first in, first out, first come, first served basis at the processing center. So the petition gets sent to a lockbox in Texas. Texas looks at it, makes sure everything is there. Then they send it to a processing center, which is actually back in California, where all of the information that I provided gets reviewed with a fine-tooth comb. The caveat here is you need to make sure that you complete all the information thoroughly and with specific details and leave nothing out, and you provide the correct forms. Anytime there is a delay and they have to ask you to submit an updated form or something like that, you cause yourself 2 to 3 months delay in the process. So I happen to be one of those people who I take written tests very well. I'm really good at filling out forms and dealing with the government bureaucracy. So I was able to make sure that my forms were provided exactly the information required. I was told at the time that it would take somewhere between 10 to 12 months. That's what people were telling me in my ear. But once I submitted and I subscribed to the email notifications and the online notification, and I created an account at the USCIS.ca.gov so I can keep track of the status of my application, I learned that the current time, and that will always change, the current time was 5 to 7 months. So I submitted my petition, and approximately 6 months and 1 week into it, I received notification that my petition was approved. One of the things that I also want to share with you that was very, very important was, I'm divorced, so I had to provide proof of my divorce. However, since that proof is going to go outside of the country to the country that my fiance lives in, I needed to get a different form of how my divorce was settled. So there was a different fee. And if I had not, if I hadn't lucked out at the woman at the county clerk's office and had her telling me the correct form to get, I would have had submitted the wrong document, and I would have to go back and cause myself that 2 to 3 month delay that I mentioned earlier. Luckily, things worked out, and I was able to get the correct form the first time and submit it over. So 6 months and 1 week to approximately to the day, I got notified that my petition was approved and my petition would go to the National Visa Center. Now, from that point, there is a fee for the actual visa, because now they're saying, hey, you've got all the information provided to request a visa. So now we're going to request a visa. So you have to pay the fee before we request a visa. So there's another fee that I will pay as a petitioner. From that point on, the National Visa Processing Center then takes all the information that I provided and they send it to the country of where your fiance dwells. In my case, it's Vietnam. So Nia's in Vietnam. She'll get notified by the U.S. consulate in Ho Chi Minh City, or also known as Saigon, that there is a pending visa for her, and there is additional information that she needs to provide. Now, she has to provide some local documentation of her status, marital status, criminal status, things like that. One of the things that's different in Vietnam than the United States, like I had to provide proof that I was divorced. She has to provide proof that she was never married. So I'm like, is that the same thing? What? I mean, if you're just not married, just not married, right? But that's what they require. So she's got to go back to like the local community and say, and get a document that says, yeah, she was never married. She never asked for a marriage license. Okay. So the other thing is she's going to get those documents in the local language. However, this is the U.S. consulate that she's dealing with. So now those documents have to be translated into English, and they have to be translated by recognized authority in translation services. And so we went and got those documents, and she's got all the documents now. Now she just needs to have them translated, and it'll take probably about a week to get them all translated. So we are ahead of the game. The petition, I fill out a petition. The petition gets approved, gets reviewed and approved and sent to the National Visa Processing Center. I pay another fee. I pay the fee for the petition, pay a fee here, then it gets sent to the U.S. Consulate. The U.S. Consulate says, okay, you need to send us all of these other documents of you, Nia, not of Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell has provided us with everything now. Now we need to know who you are. So she takes those documents, she gets them translated into English, and she goes take a medical, and she takes the results of that medical in a sealed envelope to the final interview. The final interview is when they sit down, they talk to her, and they basically try to find out whether or not this is a real deal marriage. I'm one of those people who believes that, if you're doing good, you don't have anything to worry about. And ours is the real deal. It's real love. It's exciting love. It's an adventure for the two of us, and we don't need to pretend. We don't need to rehearse. We don't need to practice. We just need to speak from the heart, because the heart tells the whole story. So once she has the interview, she'll know either at the interview or shortly afterwards that her visa has been granted. She'll go pick that visa up. Then I will fly from Southern California to Vietnam again, pick her up, and then we'll come back to the United States of America, and we will get married shortly afterwards. Have a small wedding, and then we'll start the new chapter of our lives. I think that the U.S. government does a really good job in giving you some accurate times of how long it's going to take. People tend to, they tell you 5 to 7 months. People think, oh, 5 months, 5 months. Oh, no, think more along 5 to 7 months as opposed to it. So you don't build yourself up and get excited about something, then you get let down after 5 months and 1 week passes. So that's me and the K1 visa process. I'm lucky we are now at the point where I'm waiting to hear from the National Visa Processing Center so I can make those arrangements for all of the information to go to Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. So we are one step closer to having my fiance and future wife come to the United States. And when that does happen, we will be video logging together. So wish me luck, and I will talk to you soon. See you, and remember, don't ask for whom the bell tolls, because it always tolls for thee. If you like what you've heard today, please subscribe to my channel. Please feel free to check out my other movies, books, and other things that I have out there in La La Land. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.